Here's a very interesting story about damage to the Trump brand. Now, I don't want to be confusing here because in total, the presidency has been very profitable for Donald Trump and his family. They've continued making hundreds of millions of dollars in total. Much of it they've made by using their positions of power and privilege in the Oval Office to make that money. Trump's hundreds of trips to play golf at his own golf clubs, for example, funneling government money, your money, taxpayer money, into his businesses. But there's another side to this, and the Trump presidency has done some pretty major damage to one of the things that Donald Trump values the most, which is his brand and his popularity and whether people like him. This is one of the big motivators for people like Donald Trump and for Trump specifically. And a lot of Trump branded condo buildings, for example, have removed Donald Trump's name from them, not wanting any association with Trump, even by name. But in Chicago, there's something very interesting going on. The profits at Trump's Chicago hotel are reportedly down 89%. And Trump's company is saying that violence in Chicago is a reason for that downturn. Now, understand, profits at Trump's Chicago hotel are down from nearly 17 million in 2015 to just 1.8 million in 2018, according to documents that were filed with Cook County, even though Trump has been funneling money into that hotel by holding campaign events there and doing all of the things that we know him to do as a president to self-enrich. The Trump Organization's explanation for this is that, number one, Chicago is down as a market overall, and that the perceived threat of gun violence has harmed visitation to the destination. Now, the problem with this explanation is that gun violence or not, down market or not, other hotels in Chicago are doing just as well or better over the last few years. It's Trump's hotel that is suffering. Interestingly as well, Donald Trump's Washington, D.C. hotel, which of course has been patronized by all sorts of world leaders and diplomats when they visit D.C., is also struggling. And Eric Trump recently said, quote, this is just an amazing thing to say, people are objecting to us making so much money on the hotel, and therefore we may be willing to sell it, maybe abandoning that business altogether. I love how Eric says it like it's unfair. Yeah, people are objecting to having a profit center blocks from the White House from which you self-enrich, thanks to being president of the United States. People have a problem with that, and rightly so, and rightly so. So Trump and his kids, they love to repeat that the presidency has been terrible for them financially because they've stepped back. Trump has separated from the businesses. They're great, moral, ethical people who have missed out on a lot of money they could have made if Trump wasn't president. Do not be confused. Being president has allowed Donald Trump in totally new ways to funnel money directly into his pockets. But there are also some specific cases where even Donald Trump's corruption and self-enrichment attempts can't override the dance he has done. There are specific cases, see in D.C., in Chicago, as examples, where Trump being president has so disgusted people that they simply aren't going to his hotels. That's a good thing, but it doesn't make Donald Trump's self-enrichment schemes any less disgusting as far as it involves the golf clubs and all of the other stuff that we've talked about. Let me know your thoughts. I'm on Twitter at @DPakman. Follow me there. Follow the show on Twitter at David Pakman Show as well. Check out the Forecast Fest podcast for the latest election news, including debate previews and recaps and analysis of how voters are leaning in the early primary states. Every week, the hosts, Harry Enton, Kate Baldwin, and John Avlon, bring you the data and the analysis that you need to get smart and stay smart this election season. They not only give you the up-to-date forecast on who's ahead and behind in the race for the White House and Congress, they don't just give you the what, but they give you the all-important why. If you want to understand how the impeachment inquiry could affect the 2020 presidential race, or you need a refresher on jungle primaries or polling methods, if you want to get unique political analysis rooted in data on major campaign issues like healthcare and climate change, including historical context and the latest polling, Harry, Kate, and John have you covered. Subscribe now to the Forecast Fest to stay informed of every twist and turn on the road to November of 2020, available wherever you listen to podcasts.